The audience was pretty split last time on whether or not we should do an intro. We had some people agreeing with you that we shouldn't, and we had some people agreeing with me that we should.
Yes.
So I've decided I'll do an intro, and you can just say whatever you want. Okay?
Okay. Is this it, or is that it? Or?
Welcome to GLHF, everybody. What? This is...
Oh, okay, sorry.
We're in imvu, which we'll get into it in a second, but Austin, do you have anything to say?
I wanted to talk about, like, buying, if you can't afford first class in an airplane, some alternatives to that option.
Like, to make your airplane experience better?
Yes, here was my thought. First class on an airplane is really expensive. And I had this thought this week, right? If first class, like a normal ticket would be like, $200, $300. First class would be like $900.
Yeah.
You could just buy the seat next to you for another $200. Especially if you're like traveling with someone. You could both just split the middle seat, buy all three, and you would have room for days.
Yeah, but don't you have to have somebody's name and identity associated with the seat?
Well, that was my question. Do you? And is it unethical to do that? Because people buy seats like for their dogs, or like people who are bigger will sometimes get two seats to be more comfortable.
Yeah.
So it seems like you should be able to. And I feel like that's like a poor man's first class. So if you can't afford first class, I guess I was wondering if you thought it's rude to intentionally purchase seats on a plane to prevent other people from having them.
I don't think that's rude if you bought the seat and it's assigned seating already. I know that this has been going around the internet, this quote life hack of on like Southwest when there's not assigned seating, just like putting your shit in the middle seat to prevent people from sitting there so that you can spread out. And I think that's kind of shitty. Because then...
but if the seat... that only works in a not sold out flight.
Correct. Because then if it turns out it is a sold out flight and it starts filling up and somebody's like, hey, can I sit there? And you're giving them stank face because you were going to use that seat for your bags and snacks. I think that's kind of lame.
But you're saying if you're wealthy enough to be able to afford to pay for the seat, it's no longer unethical.
Well, I guess if you paid for it, yeah. Then you're just wasting your money, which I guess is fine.
All right. Well, is first class a waste of money?
You tell me. Didn't you like recently do that for the first time this year?
I did. And you know what my opinion was?
Not worth it?
It was a waste of money. Yeah. And I wasn't even a very expensive one either. It was like they offer you the cheap, it was like $80 to do the upgrade because it wasn't a full flight.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I thought it was
extremely obnoxious. No, it wasn't bad at all. And then I did it, and all they do is try to give you stuff the whole time. And I was trying to work. So I kept having to be like, yes, of course I would like food. I didn't need food. But I didn't want to say no because they were like, they like learn your name and stuff. And they like...
And you don't have to pay extra
all the stuff
for these
that
things?
You think... Exactly, yeah. First class, the main thing is anything that you would have to pay for is just they give it to you if you want it. Pretty much. It's like, it's that, and then it's a bigger chair. So
and they would call you by name? I didn't know that. That's so intimate.
Yeah, they'd be like, Mr. Austin, how are you doing today? And I'd be like, well, I was good, but you can see I'm working. Also, the tray tables in first class suck. They come out of the side of the seat, and then they extend over, so the leverage is like the point of contact is all the way on the edge, so the far end of the tray is like really droopy. And if you put anything heavy on it, it just doesn't work. So yeah, overall, I wasn't super thrilled with my experience. And that's why I started trying to think of alternatives, like just purchasing the seat in the middle, preventing some person from going home to see their family or driving up the price of the rest of the tickets because I've sold out the plane artificially by purchasing the seat in the middle because I can't be bothered.
What would you use that middle seat for, though? What's the point?
Right. That's the question, isn't it? I don't know.
Just to not have somebody there?
Yeah, I think just to be able to like grab stuff out of my bag and to do work without like feeling like I'm getting in someone's way and stuff. Or I didn't really think that far ahead. So I guess I just wanted to check the ethics of it with you first as kind of my empathy coordinator.
Right, exactly.
I wanted to see if you had any issues.
I think if you pay for it, that's ethical. Sure.
I wonder if our listeners will agree with that general heuristic. Is that what that's called? Whatever it's called when you have like a law that you live by. Anyway, I honestly was not expecting that to be a real tangent to start the show. So
well, you had a lot. You were very passionate about that.
I guess I was. How are you today? Anything exciting?
Listen, I'm sorry in advance that probably every single episode I'm going to start off talking about this Pilates class, but it's because that's the last thing that I did right before recording this. And
Thursday Pilates?
It's Tuesday and Thursday. All right. So it's like, okay. I barely even have time to recover before the Thursday class. It's very embarrassing. But,
yeah.
It's
cool to be sore though. It feels good, right?
Kind of. But then I have to decide like what I can even like do that's productive after I do this, because there's so much weakness in my core right now. I can barely hold myself up. And I used to make fun of people for like complaining about being sore after they work out. And guess what? It's all I can freaking think about. So I will complain about it.
And walk a mile in their shoes and suddenly you realize that they were right.
Realize.
You're making me feel bad because I skipped the gym this morning and like I will say that I haven't had a workout in a while that like after I did it, I could like barely hold myself up and I'm like, damn, I gotta get back on my shit.
It's useful to have a class like this that's really pushing you, because there's no way I would do this much on my own.
Totally, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if it's just because I've been kind of tired. I haven't really been getting enough sleep this week, but this week, both classes, I like got to a point multiple times where I kind of started losing vision and was about to pass out and had to like stop and drink water. So, I mean, I'm hoping that means I'm getting really ripped.
I think that's that's a normal side effect of getting ripped, actually. It's like being, because basically the idea is that you use your body to the point that it's on the brink of death, and that's how you get stronger.
Exactly, I'm about to die.
So that's what you're experiencing right now. And I'm glad you stopped to drink water, because you would die if you didn't.
I wouldn't die. I'm a person that has passed out many times. This is something about me. I
really?
Pass out.
Okay, tell me about that. That's interesting. What, any fun, like what was the most dramatic difference between where you passed out and where you woke up? Do you remember? Or is it always pretty quick?
Okay, there's only been one time really where I like fully passed out and woke up somewhere else.
Okay, you oversold us a little bit, but fair enough.
But because usually I'm like very used to the feeling of like starting to lose vision and getting faint, and then I usually like sit down and like drink some water or something and figure it out. But I don't know. It happens a lot if I'm like reaching my arms over my head, or if I'm really hot. And so it would happen to me like in high school when I would take showers in the morning. Like every single morning I was almost passing out in the shower because I would get up. I would get up and immediately get in the shower. And it's like, I don't know, it's the combo of like being tired and having my hands over my head to wash my hair in the hot environment. I would just like start fainting, and then I'd have to like sit on the edge of the tub so I didn't faint.
Why would it be that having your hands over your head? Because you would think, because when you pass out, it's because there's not blood in your brain. So I'm trying to think why, or I'm sure there's other reasons, but that's like the common one, is blood goes out of your brain and you pass out. So why putting your hands above your head?
Well, even
would that cause blood to leave your brain?
Even in class today, that's what was causing me to feel faint, is when we would do the weights over our head. I assume just because my blood is going to my muscles and not my brain. I don't know.
But gravity, you know about that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it makes things go down. So if your hands are above your head, the blood's going to go out of your hands and down. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But hey, I'm sorry to hear that. But so the only time I ever passed out was in a doctor's office, because they were talking about cutting my arm open, and I didn't like it. I was like 15 probably.
What happened to your arm?
There was a thing growing in it, and they were like, we got to get it out, and here's how we're going to do it. And I was like, oh no. So I passed out. Yeah,
I also do. I have fainted a couple times getting my blood drawn because I just don't like thinking about it.
Yeah, so if that's like such a psychological battle, is if I'm like donating blood or giving blood or getting my blood taken, I have to like really not. It's like the don't think about an elephant thing. Like if I think about it and of like what's going on, I'm done.
Yeah.
I just get so, was that a vasovagal reaction? And then I just see you later. I'm out.
Yeah.
No way. Turn white as a ghost, which is weird because I don't mind it in like a way. I wouldn't expect to mind it. Like if you asked me, am I afraid of getting my blood drawn? I would be like, no, it doesn't. Like I'm not anxious beforehand, but when it's happening, if I start to think about it,
being in the moment,
it's over for me.
Just getting the tourniquet on there freaks me out, I think. Because it's like, I don't know, the thought of like, it's like restricting my blood flow, and then it's just the whole process. Right. I don't really like the whole process.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a pathological fear of needles in general, I don't think. I don't like getting blood drawn because it's icky that they're literally collecting vials of my blood, mainly.
You're saying that's not the reason, or you do think it's icky? I
do think it's icky. I think that's why, because it's like, that's supposed to be in my body and you're stealing it. But I'm not really scared of like shots at all. All
right. I'm just going to let that go, I think. We're not going to interrogate that thought.
Yeah, well, that was a full explanation. I think the audience understands.
You think it's icky to sneeze? Like, where's the line? I guess is what I'm curious about. Because what do you, like, first of all, what do you mean icky? Icky like they shouldn't be doing it? Obviously not. But just icky like it's not right by God.
It's my life force, and it's not something that's supposed to come out. So why don't you just say,
don't do it, give it back. Give it back. Don't take my blood.
Because I have to find out what diseases I have.
Okay. So the diseases are even ickier.
Yeah.
Than getting your blood drawn, I guess. So it outweighs it.
Yeah, well, every time I go for my yearly checkup, I'm convinced I have some type of cancer. So I would like them to check for it anyway.
Well, based on that hands above your head thing, I don't blame you. It could be, but I guess not so far. Everything seems all right.
No, I mean,
Pilates is doing well.
That's been happening my whole life, and I haven't died of cancer yet, so.
Yeah, if you were gonna, I have to tell myself that sometimes. It's like,
right, like
when was the first time that I had this symptom that I thought was cancer? And I was like, all right, it was like 12 years ago. So if it was, it at least would have gotten worse, and it hasn't. So like, which is actually, it's funnily enough, there was a long time ago when I was like in high school, probably related to when I like passed out and stuff. I had a lot of anxiety about like medical stuff, thinking I was dying all the time, which I don't think is like super uncommon. Mm-hmm. But that was one of the techniques that the therapist I work with taught me. He was like, just write down the thing you're feeling and what you think the problem is. And then like a year into it, he was like, all right, let's open up that journal. And because I would come in and be like, oh, I felt a pain in my whatever, and I think I have cancer. And he'd go, all right, let's look at this journal. And he would point out, he'd be like, look, you also thought that a year ago. Like you thought that exact same thing in the exact same circumstance at the exact same time of day, and it hasn't gotten any worse. And I was like, okay. Yeah. You kind of tricked me into collecting data about myself, but it's working. So
yeah, I do the same thing, not in a journal, but I'll be like, you know what? I was worried about this 8 years ago, and nothing has changed. So I'm probably
it's a good way to start filtering out your own like biases or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know.
But yeah, I would like to talk a little bit about what's going on the screen right now, because I just think it's really cool and awesome.
Well, I assume this is just what you're capable of now because of your Pilates class.
Yeah, I'm
if you're not careful, you're gonna be really sore.
And I'm flipping and levitating, perfect plank levitation, and then flipping. I mean, really, it's incredible. I'm staying my body completely straight, flipping backwards. I don't really even know how I'm doing this. There's nothing to give me this kind of leverage. It's all in the core, I guess. It's all in the abs.
It's a remarkable core. And honestly, those back muscles, which are, people forget about the back muscles a lot and how important they are, but that's the thing that allows you to like pull something like this off.
Yeah.
Impressive. It's really impressive.
And all you can do is sit and watch. You're just captivated.
I'm extremely chilled out right now. Yeah, I'm enjoying both the vibes here and the performance, the sky, the trees. You can zoom the camera out a lot, which I'm not going to do right now because we're just going to leave it on this angle, but you can almost zoom it out to like the point where this little island we're on is just this teeny tiny little thing in a vast, strange void of neon.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Whatever.
So we can show the audience.
All right, do it.
Oh,
show the people.
Wait, the water and the sky is actually very beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It's like, I don't know who is that, if that's like there's an aesthetic, there's all these aesthetics, vaporwave and synthwave.
Yeah,
but
I
like
would say this is vaporwave. This is hardcore vaporwave.
Synthwave meets beach. Like the vibe of this whole game is very vaporwavy, but it's also got like that synthwave neon beach thing, which I have a lot of appreciation for. So, I guess I
have no idea what the difference is between vaporwave and synthwave. We don't have to get into it.
I don't know. Yeah, that's just a topic that's just going to be us seriously talking about things. Who cares? Whatever. Who gives a crap?
But I want to talk a little bit about this game because have you never heard of this before?
I've seen this string of 4 letters written in the past. Right. I think I've seen this game in places, but I don't really know where, like screenshots of it. Mm-hmm. So I think I probably, when I saw it, just thought it was Second Life or something.
Yeah, I remember seeing ads for it all the time when I was a kid because I was like big into a lot of kind of online chat games like Club Penguin, Habbo. Yeah. Whatever, like all of them. And I never tried imvu for some reason. I think I had it in my head that it was like an adult game, which honestly it is. So good on me.
It is. I've already gotten 8 DMs offering me nudes. So this is an adult game.
Something that I think is funny about it is, first of all, it's like such ancient technology. You can only like click on these predetermined poses you can do in the scene. Yeah. A lot of them are very inappropriate poses that involve 2 or more people. And
now, okay, you said that earlier and I just kind of sailed by it.
Yeah.
But I guess when you said it, I assumed it meant like hugging or whatever, but you're saying it again in a way that I'm like, is it actually like we're like, we could see people, like these people in the background, like there's the potential that they could engage in some.
Yes. Exactly what you're thinking. So that's what's kind of funny about this game is that it's very horny. The theme of the game is kind of horniness. Because you can...
Chat rooms. Even the non-horny ones are horny. So if you make one that
This is true, but this one is like especially.
Well, it's intentionally.
And what I think is extra funny about it is that, so I'm sure you noticed in the character creator that like you can only make hot people. And like, especially in the female one, it's so like...
so funny you said that.
What?
Because when I was making my character, I was like, why can I only make the ugliest fucking people? I was looking at all these people and I was like, I hate how all of these people look.
It's probably different for men. Look, I already got a friend request. Somebody's impressed by my flips.
Oh, who is it? Santa Claus?
Maverick? Somebody? I don't know. I'm declining.
Oh my God, Tom Cruise.
I'm going solo. I'm friendless.
Yeah.
Anyway, but in the female character creator anyway, you can only have like huge boobs, huge ass, tiny waist, Instagram face, to a point where it's almost kind of, especially when you see people around the world like who have really customized their people or like put money into it or something, they kind of take the whole like Instagram face and hourglass body aesthetic to a point that it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like so exaggerated. It's almost in like an artistic way. They've like really boiled it down to its essence to the point where like they don't even really look human anymore because their ass is so fat and their face is so Instagram. Like,
I wish I could see examples of this from
it's really fascinating.
People behind us.
It's really fascinating. I actually don't see the people behind us right now.
It's like Michael Jackson.
I'm so focused on my acrobatics here. But the funniest thing about this game to me is that people will make these like smoking hot characters and then go into these like club chat rooms and then they'll be hitting on each other and like complimenting each other's bodies as if they're real. But like these people could look like anybody. Like guys will come up to you in this game and be like, nice ass. But like they don't even know.
Yeah, and you're like, what do you, I clicked it. I clicked the nice ass button. Exactly. Like, what do you mean?
I clicked it.
Like, that's what it's not, there's no anything there. It's like obviously, it's nice beard. I clicked the Heisenberg beard. Like, that's, it's just, of course it's there.
So I don't know. I think it's really funny. There's there. Like, I don't really know what the target audience is for this game, but there is one, and they are here, and they are just fascinating sociologically to me.
Well, you imagine it's just a lot of people who are like kind of lonely, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Maybe this is like practice for when they go actually try to pick up a girl in a club. I don't know.
I imagine, yeah, and I imagine a lot of the skills they would learn here would work really well, so that's a great thesis.
Right, if you want to pick up a girl, you should go say she has a nice ass. That's exactly what you should do.
Well, and you can also just do the thing of be like, do you want to do the pose with a girl or whatever? And then just
yeah,
you
exactly.
do the pose, and that's what you just in the club, you can just basically do any pose you want, and everything's chill. Yeah. Nobody cares.
You just go into the middle of the dance floor and start like hip thrusting alone, and just hope she joins you.
Yeah, or start doing flips in the pool and just hope that someone decides to play the other role there. You know what? I kind of think that's how long, if we went outside and did half of like if you went outside and started doing a waltz with an invisible person, how long do you think it would take before someone would do a waltz with you? Probably not that long. Someone would probably get in there, but it wouldn't be someone you'd want. But I guess that's just the way it goes.
I think it'd probably depend a lot on what you look like.
You know what I'm trying to do? And I'm only saying this because it's relevant, but I think it's a really fun, I think it's cool. I think everyone, here's what you should do. You should go, you know how there's people who stand around and ask for money in your neighborhood if you live in a city, right? You got to figure out what all their favorite candies are and just bring it to them every once in a while.
That'd be nice.
Great use of time. Because in my experience, they don't remember who you are from one encounter to the next. So they just think some random person is like guessing their, because they see 1 trillion people a day. It's like if you work in food service and you see a bunch of people, you can just make someone's day. Figure out their favorite candy bar.
That is nice.
Yeah, thanks.
Congrats on being nice.
You want to read top comments from the last episode? You have any interest in that?
Sure. I had a couple things to say responding to comments. I know some, at least 2 people were like, I can't believe you forgot Encino Man is a Finding a Freak movie, and that actually blew my mind. I can't believe I forgot that. That's like my favorite one.
You do like Encino Man. I've still never seen it.
You gotta watch it.
I've still never seen it.
You gotta watch it.
It's Pauly Shore?
Yeah, and it's only like an hour and 20 minutes. It's real quick. And it's incredible. It's just awesome.
All the clips look really funny, so.
But also, if you saw my little segment on it, you kind of have seen the whole movie, but it's still worth it.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Just put it on in the background.
Yeah.
That's how I learned how to dig my own pool in my backyard.
Is Pauly Shore the freak?
No. The freak is Brendan Fraser as a caveman.
Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, yeah, because he gets thawed out, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. The other night I ended up
thawing out a caveman watching in your backyard?
Yes. I found my own freak, actually. No, I ended up watching The Mummy because
I haven't seen that.
I know. So I was talking to Ashlyn and I brought up this because I was thinking about the Finding a Freak thing ever since you said it. And I was like, what other movies? She was like, is The Mummy a Finding a Freak movie? Turns out she was thinking of The Scorpion King, but we ended up watching The Mummy. I'll tell you this, not a Finding a Freak movie, but it does have freaks in it.
It sounds like it would.
Also Brendan Fraser.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool dude.
Yeah, I don't know anything about The Mummy.
Some people say I look like him because they need glasses.
I was going to say, I don't see
not
it,
even
but
close. Unless maybe they meant in The Whale or something, in a new one. I'd have to look at that, but definitely not old Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I don't quite see that. I love that that's just a thing that happens. First of all, when you are visible on the internet, is people just try to tell you what celebrities you look like, and they're always like really wrong. Who do you get
now? I saw a few Aubrey Plazas for
Everybody's
you on the
saying
recent
Aubrey
video.
Plaza, which is fine.
But that's just a vibes thing kind of too. Like it's you don't not have an Aubrey Plaza face kind of thing. Like you do. But it's also like your vibes are kind of Aubrey Plaza-y because you're very dry when you want to be. You know what I mean?
Sure, I definitely smile and laugh a lot more.
Yes, but you have an Aubrey Plaza switch, maybe I think is what it is. So who else have you gotten? Anyone else? Anyone cool?
I don't know if I've gotten anyone else that I like recognize off the bat when they say it. It's usually like some random white actress I've never heard of. And then I look it up and I'm like, I don't really see it, but okay. But it's always, if I were to like keep track of a list of all these women and pull them all up at the same time, they all look entirely different, just completely different.
People don't know how to see things. This is one thing you learn when you read comments on videos, like especially when you start getting a significant amount of views. People actually just don't know anything. The amount of times that I will get comments on a video, like I'll make a video about a thing and someone will comment and be like, oh, actually, I work in this field and this, that, and the other, and this. And then like within a day, someone else says they work in the field and say the exact opposite of that person. Or they'll just like say things that...
right. Well, that might be...
They'll say...
Go ahead.
Somebody said recently, I did a video about Titanfall 2, and someone said, I didn't like how much you like made fun of Titanfall 2 and said it was bad. And I was like, I literally didn't say anything bad about the game in that video. Where was it? And they said, I don't know. I just felt like you did. I was like, what? I'm like, what's going on? You can't just like say things.
People do that. You have to go
do.
into it assuming that people are just saying things. It is really funny how often, I don't like respond to comments that much in general, especially negative ones. But once in a while when I do, almost every single time you respond to a negative comment and just act like a normal person, they like take it back. It's really funny.
Like, oh yeah, sorry, I don't know.
It's really funny. Or like they'll just like say something mean and I'll like explain it in a way that a normal person would, and then they'll just be like, oh, I didn't think of that. You're right.
They'll be like, oh yeah, sorry, I just didn't think at all. I didn't use my brain. Before
I don't know. They just like close their eyes and type. But so
yep, I swear to God,
just
people
a reason.
Saying shit.
Yeah. That's just a reason not to take anything seriously that people comment on the internet, because they really do just be closing their eyes and
But that's what's so
things.
funny about it is like we take it really seriously. Like the fact that the news that you can watch MSNBC or whatever and they'll be like, people are saying this and they'll put up a tweet or a comment from something is fucking crazy. Like the fact that has even entered the same realm of like, oh yeah, Twitter is like, it's the same thing as getting on stage and giving a speech. No, it's not. It's not even close.
Yeah.
People are not thinking.
Yeah.
So it's really funny.
And I think I learned that really early because I was in all these kind of chat room games. I was like, nobody is serious. This is all just silly. So I've just never taken the internet seriously. It is really stupid when the actual news is like using that as sources. Or like,
they'll be like,
I love when they're like
3 tweets.
I love when they're like, this thing is viral, and they're talking about, you look it up and there's like maybe like 100 posts about it. Like it's not that viral. Right. Well, they'll be like, this thing is going viral. Anything can be viral these days. If there's like 100 likes on something.
It's funny. Well, because this brings us back to that. First of all, I have to issue a correction. I know we were going to do top comments, but we're skewing away from that now. I did say last week that the guy who shot the guy looked like Timothée Chalamet. Turns out, unfortunately, that episode came out the day we found out what he actually looked like. But now we know he looks like Dave Franco, not Timothée Chalamet. I was wrong. He
does look like Dave Franco.
He looks so much like Dave Franco. It's crazy. Dave Franco could totally play this dude.
In the picture that was further away, like the CCTV picture, it did look like Timothée Chalamet. I'll give you that.
Totally, yeah. When you could just see like the smile and the face and stuff like that.
I also have something else to say about this guy.
Amazing, because we can talk about it for a minute. But this comes back to that thing of like, the amount, there's this thing on TikTok, people are now like filming their parents watching Fox News and they're playing like thirst trap videos of this guy. And, like,
I saw that. That was incredible.
If you could actually like survey and get a sense of like how prevalent this, like how many people are actually like, how big of a thing is this movement of like, oh, we love him and he's so great and blah, blah, blah. It's probably like 1% of people. But like you said, if you get one TikTok that a bunch of people like, they think that 1 million people liking a TikTok means 1 million people like writing a thesis about how they support the underlying like message of the TikTok or whatever it is. And then they run with it and they go, this country's out of control. It's crazy. It's just so funny. So funny.
It's really
how people
amusing,
take it
though.
so serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
But yeah, the other thing
enjoyed that very much.
that I found out about this guy, which I guess we'll just do like a freaking Luigi segment every week now. Welcome to the Luigi segment.
The year of it's the new year of Luigi.
He went to the University of Pennsylvania, which is where I went for
Get
college.
the fuck out of here. Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's incredible. So you're probably like 1 or 2 degrees of separation.
Well, guess what? He's 26, I think. So
yeah.
I think he would have been a freshman while I was a senior or something like that. So we shared a campus. Like at some point we were on the same campus together.
Dude, that's crazy. Do you think he, like, this type of person accurately represents the type of person that goes to UPenn?
Well, I tweeted about this. I said, every time I find out another insane person went to UPenn, I go, that's about right. Because
you gotta be careful, because people won't like you calling him insane. People think he's a based king.
He can be insane and based.
Okay, that's fair.
He does seem a little bit crazy. I mean, because you have to be a little bit crazy to kill somebody.
You know, well, I mean, do you? Maybe you do.
I would say so. But I think that's a pretty...
I don't know if he seems crazy to me. I think he seems... I have a theory. I think he, like... I don't know. I feel like he was... he did it, and then he ran away, and he was going to just go, like, kill himself or something. I don't know. And then he saw everyone being like, you're hot, and he was like, now I have a reason to live. and then he like recommitted to the bit. You know what I mean? I just have a little feeling that like he's kind of in it for the bit. Well, I mean, we'll learn more blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's just what my gut says when I see him talking. You know, I'm like, this man understands the role that he is in like the culture right now, and he's enjoying it very much.
Sure. And we don't have to take a solid moral stance one way or the other against this guy. I think,
yeah, I wonder if I even could, but we don't have to worry about it right this second. I'm just kind of like, I'm down for the ride. You know, I like when interesting things happen. So
no, exactly. It's very interesting. It's very entertaining. I'm definitely anti-healthcare CEO for whatever it's worth. So,
yeah,
but yeah, whatever. What was I going to say about Penn? Because you were like, is this the type of person?
Is he an accurate representation of the type of people you interacted with at that school?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So everyone there's really hot.
There's some hot people. I mean, I went there. So all I mean is that it's like, it's a really kind of wacky place. And it was a really crazy environment for me to go into immediately, like starting my life by myself as an adult, because I like moved across the country to go to this school, which I went to because I had a scholarship. There's no reason I would have gone to this school otherwise. It's like so random in hindsight why I went to this specific place, but it's because I went there for free. So it's...
What was can I ask, why did they give you a scholarship?
Because I applied...
Because like you're tight?
I applied through this program called Questbridge that does like, you just apply... Cute. It's for poor people, basically, which I was. And you apply one time through like the Questbridge application, and you like list schools that you would want to go to. And I think I put Penn on there just because they had a good engineering program or something. I don't know. They were just like one of the schools that was an option, and it's like technically an Ivy League, and I didn't know anything, and I was like, I should go to an Ivy League because that's the best, whatever. Anyway, and then so you do like a ranked choice list, and then whatever school you get into, you get to go to with a like full ride scholarship.
Damn, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Is it a place that radicalized you against the horrors of greed?
It taught me a lot, because so to describe the school a little bit, I was just thinking about talking about this, so sure, we can talk about UPenn.
We are incapable of actually sticking to like any kind of...
That's
I mean, it doesn't
fine,
matter,
but then we
I
like
just think it's funny.
Come up with cool topics while we're talking, so it's fine.
Yeah, and then we don't have to use up the ones we wrote down in case we ever start running out.
So it's a weird place because it's mostly like preppy rich kids from all over the country, because it's an Ivy League school. But but a lot of rich kids and then like a sprinkling of kids like me that just like got scholarships because they did do a lot of financial aid programs and stuff. So you're kind of like thrown into this, like everybody around you is from like mostly wealthy, but like very diverse financial backgrounds. So sometimes you'll end up in conversations where you're like, wow, I'm like really out of place here.
So it's totally possible that, you know, I'm not saying, but like maybe you spoke to Luigi and your story.
What program was he in? Do we know what he majored in? I want to say it was
assassination,
something
I think is what the
tech.
news said.
He majored
in something about
assassination.
They were talking about among something. I don't know. He was in a club for assassins, is what I heard.
But he might have been in like tech something. So it's possible that I at least saw him walking around.
Right. Well, I'm saying maybe he saw how unfair our society was based on your background, and that's what led to this. So it's not. I'm not saying it did, but it could have. You could have had a non-zero influence. Oh boy, we have a visitor. Stop looking at me.
Oh, Dina. Hello, Dina. Dina's throwing me. Yay. Dina's throwing me in the pool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love you, Dina. Shout out. Oh my God. Her ass is fat and it's hanging out of her shorts. I love Dina. I love Dina. Hold on.
You got a friend request, Dina?
I love you, Dina.
Are you chatting? Should I open the chat? Or I guess
yeah,
you
I said
can
I love you, Dina. She kind of disappeared for me. Is she still visible for you? She's gone.
My angle is not set up in such a way that makes sense, but let me see. Oh yeah, Dina's out of here. She's
left.
Ripping.
I said I love you and she left. She's avoidant.
Rip. Aren't we all deep down?
No.
Okay. Anyway.
So
all right. Well, that's very interesting, isn't it?
It's a lot of like rich kids, and then there's essentially because it's in the middle of Philadelphia, like right next to West Philadelphia, like born and raised. Nice. And we can use that to sync. If you get to that part and we're out of sync, that means you've synced the audio wrong. I don't really understand what you're saying, but okay.
All right, don't worry about it.
There's like an invisible wall around campus and like the apartments where the students live that is enforced by the UPenn police force, the university police force.
That's probably what radicalized him.
And so it's really strange because it's like the ultimate example of gentrification, right? Like UPenn has completely taken over this section of the city. And also like everybody nearby works there. It's like the biggest like provider of jobs. Like they kind of like control this whole section of the city.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in all these like rich kids from all over the country that don't know anything about Philly. And then if you're like walking around, like I would have to go to a Rite Aid pharmacy that was outside the invisible wall. And this is like, I'm not even like saying this as a joke. Like people would talk about where the wall is. It's like at certain streets. I would have to go to a Rite Aid that was outside of the wall because that's like what my insurance took. And it really was like this weird like night and day difference in like how safe you feel and how like suddenly there's like a bunch of people staring at you because they know you're a student. And
segregation type shit's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, essentially.
What do they call that? Like, there's a word for that when it comes to like actually like zoning and whatever. But
so it's a real. But in any case, bizarre. It's just bizarre. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like if you have any kind of social conscience, you eventually feel bad that you even go there.
Okay. Have you ever thought about like getting a 3D printer, like or anything?
What is this about?
Well, I was just wondering if you ever thought of like, you know, learning CAD. Just based on your experience there, it sounds like you really recognized injustice. And have you ever thought about learning like CAD and getting a 3D printer, maybe 3D printing some kind of projectile device, and then
is this a sponsored segment I don't know about? What's going on?
No. I was just wondering if you were going to 3D print a gun so you could assassinate a CEO. Isn't that what he did?
Was it 3D printed? Am I crazy?
I thought he 3D printed it, and that's why like was ruined, and he could only shoot it like twice.
I don't know. I thought he used a
I
regular.
don't know. That's what I heard. Okay, it was meant to be a little joke about.
Okay, you were making a reference to something I did not understand.
But that's okay. That's all right. We're fine. We've gotten there. We figured it out.
Anyway, so long story short, it's just typical. Many, if not most universities are like this, where at the end of the day, they care about money and they don't care about the community and blah,
For
blah,
sure.
blah. They're horrible to the students. I think all Ivy Leagues have like really high...
What is ivy?
Huh?
What is ivy?
It's like a plant that grows up the side of buildings.
You know what I'm talking about, you jerk.
I don't.
Why is it called...
You're being really
sorry,
incomprehensible today.
Well, like, what does it mean, Ivy League? Why is it called that? Ivy.
Like, where did that name come from? I actually don't know. But
Yeah,
it's
okay,
about,
all right, forget
sports, I
It's
think. It's like the sports teams.
Oh,
are
I
in
could
an
see
Ivy
that,
League.
yeah.
But
All right, fair enough. That's lame.
it's, like, also associated with academics for some reason.
Right, prestige.
Anyway, I'm just starting to talk about, like, sad things now, but I was just going to say they all have, like, really high suicide rates because they're horrible to the students and they think that, like, beating you into the ground is going to teach you well. And so everybody's depressed. Anyway, we can talk about something else.
I'm really curious about this, actually. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's almost like one person every year. Anyway, we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. It's one or
Okay,
two people
well-
every year. And I always paid attention to that. And everybody else just like acted like it wasn't happening. It was so weird.
Well, they probably were just looking around going like, yeah, I want to kill myself too. Of course, people, it's horrible.
And many of
They
them,
probably just saw it as like a fact of life.
many of them were in engineering, which is where I was because that's
There you
the
go.
worst of it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to imagine that Luigi learned something, you know? I don't know. Listen, I think that's crazy that you went to the same school as him.
Yeah, but you know who else went
speaking
there?
of, Joe Biden?
Trump.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think he would have gotten into a school of any kind. But I guess when you have a bunch of money.
Just a school, period.
No, I'm dead serious. Like he strikes me as someone
Well,
who just
yeah,
never
you can
would have.
go anywhere with money.
Yeah, and I kind of forget that. I like always, like.
Yeah.
But the idea of him sitting in a class and synthesizing any two facts into a third, like into a conclusion.
Yeah. Well, he went to the business
strikes
school.
me as like unbelievable.
He went to Wharton, which is what the business school is called. And
well, they're obviously not that good of a school.
Wharton is the funniest thing about Penn to me because all the students, for some reason, you have to wear a suit to class every day. So
that's really funny.
the campus is full of like 18-year-olds walking around in suits for no reason in all weather to go to their business class.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Speaking of places places you will be going, I did get confirmation that we are going to VidCon, just so you
You're
know.
announcing that live on the podcast.
I'm announcing it to you because I was like, I could text you, but like I'm about to talk to you. So
Hell
it's true.
yeah.
We're going as creators. So we're going to be...
This is so
I don't
exciting.
know what it even means, honestly, but congratulations.
It means-
we're going to VidCon.
It means we get to go to the creator parties and network. Don't worry, I'll network
Hey,
for you. I can be the networker and you can follow me around.
Can you just be like, anytime someone says like, hey, do you want this? I can just go talk to her. Just go, she'll write it down and she'll tell me later. The problem is you're going to be, I feel like by the time VidCon comes around, you're going to be getting
Oh, don't say that.
to the point where like, I'm just saying that video is like going to hit 100K by the time this podcast is out, which is, I'll have you know, exactly what I told you was going to happen.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going to continue to take credit for that. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of proud. It brings a tear to my eye. I think it's lovely. And I think it's just lovely to see. And I'm happy about it. Okay.
It is cool.
And that's all I have to say about that. It's so cool. So yeah, I might have to be doing it for you by the time VidCon goes around, which honestly, even better. But yeah, we're going to go there. I don't even remember when it is. July in San Francisco or something.
It might be June. And I think
June?
it's
June or
LA. It's
July.
outside of LA. And I know this because I've just...
Who's even gonna... Who cares? Is anyone gonna be there that I care about?
No, that's the thing.
Didn't
It's
we just talk about this?
it's like, it's always been a bucket list thing for me because I like grew up with YouTube when I was like 12 and like idolized all these people. And now it's, first of all, it's just internet video. So it's not even just YouTube. It's like, it includes like TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff that nobody pays attention to. Well, I guess a lot of people do, but not me. So I have not recognized, I've not recognized any of the VidCon like featured people in many years at this point, but there's just like a little kid part of me that still wants to go because I just have always wanted to go.
Hey, we're making it happen. I'm also going to try to go to the Nerd VidCon Open Sauce. Somebody was talking to me about that.
I don't know what that is.
It was started by people who like used to go to VidCon and were like, we want cool VidCon again. So it's like the cool nerd, but it's mostly like creators who do, I don't want to say like sciencey things, but it's a lot of like those engineering.
Is that like related to Vsauce?
No, but he would be the type of person who would go to that. It was started by that guy. Yeah, it's called Open Sauce. What the fuck's that guy? William Osman. That I don't know if you've heard of that. He's a very excellent YouTuber. He did that video where he was like, how much sawdust can I add to these brownies before somebody notices? And he just gradually added more sawdust to the brownies.
Maybe I heard of that.
But he does a lot of fun videos. But it's like people like more in like a Vsauce kind of zone, like sort of nerds.
Scientists.
So I'm going to go to that also probably. Science people, these people who have
You do thoughts. Science in your videos, I would say.
Yeah, but I'm going to be the least sciencey person at this place, which is fun. I can learn some things,
Just make shit up.
That's what I do. All my videos. I have never fact-checked a video. And if people tell me I'm wrong in the comments, I just say, no, I'm not. Leave me alone. Or I just say, I was memeing, bro. It's fine. Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a joke.
All you have to do is put the word satire in your bio, and then nothing you say matters.
That's yeah, exactly. You get all the credit when you're right and none of the blame when you're wrong.
Exactly. I love when people do that, when they are so obviously expressing their real opinions in all of their videos.
Oh gosh.
But then somebody calls them out on something and they say satire, read the bio.
Exactly.
It's really funny.
But it's so I'm kind of over it. People just being, and we've talked about this I think, but like people who are just like doing a bit all the time or like ironic all the time or like never committing to any sort of like thing. And I feel like it happens so much with people. I've lost my train of thought kind of because I'm watching you do this flip and I'm getting zoned out and I'm looking at the lights in the background.
I want to kind of do something else. I want to kind of switch it up maybe.
Yeah, do it.
Where else can I go in here? What about this?
Yeah, you figure out what you're going to do.
No, that's the same
thing. I'm going to read our top 5 comments from the last video, okay?
Oh, I don't want to just sit. That's boring. Hold on.
All right, you're listening? I'm listening. Top comment is, I'm pro rain sounds. That was really scary when you sat next to me just then. I did not like that at all. Yeah, people mostly like the background noise, which is absolutely baffling to me. But it turns out that your instinct to leave it in was correct.
People like vibes.
I don't know about comments though, ma'am. You can't trust these people. They don't know. I feel like going based on what people in the comments say is like, it'll get you take down a dark path. It won't be good.
And yet here you are reading them.
Yeah, I know. It's just because I want people to feel seen. Somebody did say, until now, I've thought of Austin as a lover of silly things, but I'm starting to realize he's kind of a hater, which is funny. I feel like when I'm talking to you, or just in any sort of long form thing, I do tap into my hater side. Because I definitely am a hater. I think you would agree. I can be a hater for sure.
Well, this is something kind of funny about you, because I think you come off as a hater initially about some things, but then if I push you at all about anything, you'll change your mind in 1 second. So it doesn't really like give hater vibes overall, because I'm like,
yeah,
I don't think you're actually like completely closed-minded.
I'm a lover. I'm not a hater.
You're just...
No.
I think you just state your opinions very plainly as you think them right now, but they can change.
Yeah, I never know what I believe until I say it,
Yeah.
fully commit to it,
You're
convince
a verbal
the world that I believe
processor.
it. Right. And then see how people react. And then I figure out if I actually believe it or not. Okay. I'm not a hater.
It's just
is that
verbal
you?
processing.
No, that's somebody else. Exactly. You guys can't hate. It's not hate. It's verbal processing.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to figure out my surroundings. But yeah, I also.
I'm throwing somebody now. Oh, she left.
I was wondering
she
who
left.
the heck that was.
She was only here for a second.
Nobody wants to commit.
No. Are there any other comments?
There's so many. Well, yeah, I mean, there's actually like, for the only advertising being in the top comment of your viral video. There's like
viral. That you're like the news people calling it viral.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this person who had a viral video platforming a man who made fun of the killing of Osama bin Laden.
Oh no.
Careful. Yeah. See, you guys, the mainstream media, you guys can have that one. Okay. Start running away with it. Oh yeah. So we were talking about the intro of the podcast. I have a new idea for how we could do the intro, because today was a train wreck and it was my fault. I take responsibility for it. Here's my thought. You're going to hate this, but I think it's a great compromise. Okay. What if, because the issue is doing the artificial hello after you've started recording is kind of awkward, right?
It's not artificial. We're saying hello to the people for the first time.
But it's kind of awkward, right? It's like
Not for me.
Can you just go?
Because I love my audience and I want to say hello to them.
Then I'm not going to try to justify it. I'm just going to say this. What if we start recording before we even get on Discord? And then the moment we get on Discord, the podcast starts. And the first thing we say to one another, when we say hello, it's the real, actual hello.
I'm going to have to sleep on that.
Okay, because I think it's an excellent idea. And I think the people would like it. I think it would feel authentic.
Because when we got on Discord today, the first thing you would have heard is me eating my rice and bean bowl, which was not a pleasant sound.
People might like it. People, they would have heard that, and they would have heard me screaming, trying to figure out how to plug my microphone in correctly.
Yeah, screaming from across the room.
But we could be I'm just saying, sleep on it. Think about it. I think that sounds like a great idea. Boom, it starts. Hi, how you doing? Hello, everybody. We're all here. Then there's none of this like gurgly shit going on before we start.
All right.
That's just my thought. I think it's a genius idea. Just keep it in mind, okay? Just keep it in mind.
All right, I'll think about it and then I'll tell you no.
And then this is what I'm talking about, where you can't trust the comments, because there were a lot of comments last week talking about, we really want to hear your bathroom cleaning tips, and you and I both know that people say that they want to hear them. But if we did a segment where you said bathroom cleaning tips, if we pulled up that retention graph, it's going to be the Grand Canyon when that thing hits. We're going to be off a cliff.
I could do it like as fast as I possibly can, like in a few sentences.
You want to try?
Yeah. I'll just rattle it off.
Right now?
Yeah. So,
okay.
First of all,
I'm watching the graph.
For which chemicals to use, my favorite all-purpose bathroom cleaner is the Comet bathroom cleaner with citric acid in it. You got to look at the ingredients because there's different types of Comet, and they're not all the right one. The one with citric acid in it will like dissolve all your soap scum and your hard water stains and such. And you can use that for pretty much anything, and then just like Windex for the mirrors and for the toilet. It's green, the bottle?
The bottle.
I think it is, yeah. But there's other types of Comet that suck. Don't use those. Look for the citric acid one, just like generic bathroom cleaner. The powder I have tried, but I don't think it works as well. Hot take. I know a lot of people are into the Comet powder. For the toilets, use the blue goo. Everybody knows I love the blue goo. Everybody in my personal life, I talk about the blue goo all the time. It's hydrochloric acid, I think. You got to look at the ingredients because you got to be getting stuff with acid in it. That's how you're going to dissolve stuff. So that one I think is hydrochloric acid. Use that for your toilet bowl. Use that for, if you know for a fact you have like a porcelain sink and tub that's not plastic, you can use that on the sink and the tub too for the hard water stains. That's what I did in Indiana. But if you have a plastic tub, it will start to dissolve your tub. So be careful. I did do that in this house that we're in right now. Our tub is a little bit dissolved because I used that and I shouldn't have done that. That's the chemicals. What else can I say? Just
your tips. I want your tips.
The Comet, just spray it around, scrub with a sponge, let it sit for a little while, scrub it again, because when you let it sit, it's like dissolving stuff. You scrub it again, and you actually pick everything up, and then like rinse everything with water, and you can kind of rinse with a clean sponge with a little bit of water in it and like sponge it all down. And then like final step, you can wipe it all with a paper towel. Oh, also for dust and for like cleaning the walls, sometimes you get like mildew stains on your walls from the water dripping. Use a microfiber cloth. This is not fast at all. I'm sorry, but I have so much to say.
I was going to say, you were telling us about like, well, back in Indiana, I did.
But I learned about the microfiber cloths from my like few food service jobs. It's fucking awesome. It picks up dust. It doesn't leave it behind. And you can use that on all kinds of stuff instead of paper towels, because that's wasteful to use a bunch of paper towels all the time.
We should get an affiliate link with all this in it.
Yeah, we should.
Like a bathroom cleaning.
I don't know if anybody's actually going to care.
Well, they said they were, so we're going to find out.
Anyway,
this is the real test of whether we should pay attention to these people or not.
That's basically it. Like I scrub the sink and the toilet and the tub kind of all at once with the Comet and with the toilet cleaner in the toilet. And then I rinse all that off. And then I do mirrors and glass shower doors. For the glass shower doors, the Comet will work. Somebody asked what will get the water stains off of the glass shower. The Comet.
Somebody asked that?
The Comet will work for that if you let it sit and let it sit and then scrub it. And then I do the floor last because stuff gets on the floor, water gets on the floor from you cleaning everything else. And vacuum right before you clean everything. Vacuum so that you get the hair and the dust and stuff so that that's not like going to clog up your sponge.
Because once the hair gets wet and it like sticks,
yeah, that's the worst. It's a nightmare. Worst. Okay, I'm done. I know it wasn't fast, but there you go.
Well, here we are.
I did it, and now nobody's watching anymore, and we can say whatever we want.
Yeah, let's talk about the Hunter Biden pardon. How about that? No, how long does it take to do that whole shebang? Like 2 hours to clean your bathroom, or what?
Depends how hard I'm trying. I can do it in an hour, I think. The problem now is that I have you ever thought two bathrooms in my house, so it takes a long time.
Oof. Have you ever thought about making a video about this?
About cleaning my bathroom? Maybe that could be a members video.
Intermission.
How to clean your bathroom.
You can make that go wide, probably. 100K?
Maybe that's the kind of content you got to pay for. But I just gave you all the info. So you'll just be watching me do what I just said.
Well, the people got what they wanted. That was pretty much it for like things that people said. I mean, people said other stuff. But those were like all the top things. Mm-hmm. So
I suppose we are running low on time. Let me see if I got anything else.
What time is it? Where are we? How are we doing?
I've been recording for 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Huh.
I shouldn't have said all that bathroom stuff.
See? Yeah.
Oh, I'm regretting.
Well, what are you feeling? What kind of regrets? Are you just like it was too much
just boring.
TMI? Boring. It was boring. Okay. I'm really curious.
Shit.
This is what I'm going to do.
We lost everybody.
I'm going to do for us live. I'm going to do live next week on the podcast. Hopefully I don't forget. I'll write it down. I'm going to pull up I'm going to start freaking us out by pulling up. I'm going to look at the retention graphs and see what things we talk about that make people skip and what things we talk about that people enjoy, so that our brains get all filled up and then we're never able to actually talk to each other like human beings because we're always thinking about what we're saying and whether or not it's actually helpful or not.
That sounds like a really good idea. And if anybody else has ideas in the comments for more ways that we can analyze ourselves, or like if you want to just leave like really detailed, thorough analyses of our personalities and what you like and don't like about us, I think that would really help.
Yeah. Well, eventually that's going to happen. I mean, if we continue with this, because initially, obviously, our goal is just to get to like 10 episodes and then kind of see how we're doing. But inevitably, this is going to be a top 50 worldwide podcast, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. And if that happens, you know that the comments, how you know that you've made it is when people are no longer commenting like at you and they're just commenting about you. Like when you're smaller, the comments are like, oh, Mem, this is so great. This is so great. But eventually the comments just become, Mem is just such a this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
or
that's such a good point.
Stuff.
There was definitely a shift that is like, it's definitely true now. Now it's like a lot of people make comments like that where they are talking about me in the third person.
Yes.
But it's just been as I've got more subs, there's been that shift where then now they're just like talking about me to the other commenters. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of funny because I think it just happens because people assume once you get enough comments that you're not going to read all of them, so they just would rather talk to the other commenters or like the community
I think that's
or whatever.
Part of it, but also like once you get to a certain.
But I do read all of them, FYI. I do.
Wow, people are going to take advantage of that. I mean, and obviously people still comment and be like, "Oh, you're so lovely," and I love these videos and stuff. But I think there is a switch that happens where when your videos are getting a certain amount of views or they have a certain, like, I don't know if it might just be numbers based, right? But I think there's a vibes based thing too, where people switch from like, this is a person making a video to this is a YouTube video. And once you are just thinking of it as like a YouTube video that was like made by a professional, that's when I feel like the switch happens and people just start talking about the video, which I think is good. That's like a good sign that you're like making it in a way as people talking about you without any expectation of you reading it.
I guess that's a different thing.
It's interesting that you also noticed that. I was talking
about specifically the comments that are like, mem is blah, blah, blah.
Yes. Yeah. Just but it does go from like,
because I always, I don't know. I feel weird doing that because, again, I don't think this is wrong. If any of you listening have made comments like that, I think it's kind of cute. But I feel weird doing it like, you know, if I were to comment on one of your videos and be like, Austin, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, that'd be weird on multiple levels because I actually know you. But it feels like talking about somebody to their face, you know, because you're like sending them this comment personally, but you're like talking about them like they're not there. So I always, even on people with like millions of subs, I do just talk to them like I'm talking to them because I feel weird if I don't.
I had one more thing I wanted to say and I forgot what it was. What were you talking about?
Was it about the word scutch that I just learned this week?
Oh my God, that's exactly what it was. Tell me.
So it's funny, I put this under a section in my notes called Fun Facts Italian Themed, along with the CEO shooter went to UPenn because he is Italian. And the word scutch, I learned, is like a New York Italian slang word that just means like an annoying person. Like, oh, he's a scutch.
Would you only say it about Italians?
I assume not. I assume it's widely applicable. I just thought that was a fun word that like maybe I could start saying. I'm not Italian, but I would be saying it out of
Are we sure that he's Italian? Like, is that confirmed that he's Italian?
His name is Luigi.
You never know, and it's America. Anyone could be anything. So anyway, yes, it's confirmed he's. I'm just trying to. So if I was being annoying, can you use it in a sentence, please?
Well, I could be butchering it because I learned this word in isolation.
Like, would you say? But maybe I could say like you're being
a real scutch right
now.
This
better not be a slur.
I don't think it is.
Okay, it better not be.
I don't know. I learned it in a TikTok.
I'm gonna be pissed.
And I learned it from the TikTok comments. So.
Oh, okay, so it's probably not.
I apologize if I'm using it incorrectly. I just think it's fun. I like fun words, and
it feels like a 1920s word.
Mm-hmm.
You like, do people use it now? I wonder.
Yeah, there were people in these comments going like, "Yeah, I say that all the time," or "My family says that."
Okay, how have we never heard of it before then?
Because we don't live on like Long Island or wherever this is. It's like a specific area that this happens. That people saying scutch happens.
It's like people in Wisconsin saying bubbler.
What is bubbler?
So that's what they call water fountains, like drinking fountains.
Oh, Wisconsin is such an interesting place. What else do they say in Wisconsin? I was just there on my road trip. I feel like they have a lot of funny words
there. They have a lot of like butchered Native American words. I feel like for things.
Wisconsin
for like their towns and stuff.
Slang.
Okay, yeah, let's do this. One of the ones that people never believe me that I tell them is that in like people who are native to New Orleans, when they go get groceries, they say making groceries instead of like buying groceries. Like, I'm gonna go make groceries. People are always like, "There's no way that's real." Totally real. It's a real thing. It's a thing people actually say. What do you got from Wisconsin?
Everybody's just making jokes. I just found a Reddit thread asking about Wisconsin slang, and everybody's just making jokes. They're not serious. I want the serious sociology, anthropology. What
Is it possible they just have no culture?
They have cheese curds. You know what's funny is
I'll say it
everybody's like, "Oh, you got to go to Wisconsin and have Culver's," but there's Culver's all over the country. Like, what are you talking about?
There is now. There didn't used to be. It used to just be like an upper Midwest, like Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa.
There were Culver's all over Indiana. That's like so far away from.
That's like kind of the Midwest though. Like around the Great Lakes is like where you find Culver's. And Culver's is good. Like I'm not no hate.
It's fine.
They had their custard is really good. I like their custard a lot.
Yeah.
Their food is fine. It's all right. I don't know, like regional fast food. I don't know if any of them are like true. Well, people love like In-N-Out and stuff, but I've never had that crap. Jack in the Box, no, don't care.
Well, I mean,
I do care actually. I like food,
like
but
you're a vegetarian too. Have you had burgers? Period.
I mean, a long time ago. Some places have Impossible stuff. Burger King has a crappy Impossible burger. It's not very good, but
I think we have to STFU because it's been an hour and 13 minutes. So I'm gonna like try to find another.
Were you the
fun
police?
pose to do?
You got.
I don't. Do you want to make a 2-hour podcast?
No. Yeah, I'm tired of talking anyway. It's episode 3. We got to pace ourselves.
I'm gonna go out here on this sandy dance floor.
All right, I'm gonna
Look,
go.
it still says "I love you, Dina" over my head, and Dina is long gone.
How do you do like poses? Is it just based on where you're standing?
Yeah, you just click on a different little arrow on the ground, and you'll just be doing whatever.
Get me out of here. This is
Destiny
embarrassing.
decides.
No, indeed.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was doing some horrible Fortnite ass dance. Here we go. Nope, this is even worse. Get me out of here. I don't want to see this. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment, but it's also weirdly firsthand because it's like me. Where am I going to go? What about this funny little thing? There we go. Now I'm chilling. This is what I want.
I see you chilling over there. You're too scared to show your moves. Look at me and Ash.
It's about knowing.
Tearing it up.
It's about knowing who I am. Okay.
Knowing who you are, and who you are is the type of guy to sit in a chair at the edge of the dance floor.
That is exactly correct. I like observing. I mean, this is the VIP lounge. VIP people don't dance.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Okay, that's enough.